The time has come to review a film where a long-time supervillain goes from super bad to super dad.
Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Hey everyone, Lucimus Prime here. So, it is time for a brand new movie review today for a franchise I'm going to be reviewing. And this time an animated franchise I'm going to be reviewing the films for. And this is made by the company Illumination Entertainment. And this film I'm going to be reviewing is the start of this franchise, which is none other than 2010's Despicable Me, which is directed by Chris Renault and Pierre Coffin. So, now, how was this film made then? So, the development of this film began when Sergio Pablos pitched the idea about a main character having villainous attributes and brought the concept to Chris Meledandri following Illumination's foundation in 2007, with Cinco Paul and Ken Dorio writing the script. The film was officially announced in 2008, with much of its creative team attached, while animation was provided by Paris-based studio McGuff. And the film was composed by Aitor Pereira and also with Pharrell Williams, with Pharrell Williams even doing some original songs for the movie too. The film debuted at the NSE International Animated Film Festival on June 9, 2010, and was then theatrically released in the United States on July 9th of that year. The film received positive reviews from critics and earned $543.6 million worldwide, and it became the 9th highest grossing film of 2010. And the film was nominated for Best Animated Feature Film at the Golden Globe Awards, BAFTA Awards, and Annie Awards. And it also won for Favourite Animated Film at the 2011 Kids' Choice Awards. And the success of this film launched a franchise. So, when it comes to my reaction to this film then, so I can remember when I was at school, I think it was towards the end of one of the terms, when I was at primary school, as a matter of fact, we watched this film at the end of term, and I gotta say that I definitely really loved it, and I'll definitely regard it as my favourite Illumination movie of all time. And to me, it's the best of the Despicable Me franchise. I definitely really love this movie. So, now, what is this movie about then? So, this film tells the story of Gru, who is a long-time supervillain, who of course has an army of sidekicks, of course, that he calls minions, alongside, of course, the elderly assistant Dr. Nefario. And this is the story of him adopting 3 orphan girls to use as pawns in a villainous scheme, but reluctantly develops an emotional attachment to them. So, when it comes to what I think is great about this film then, so one highlight for this film for me is its voice cast. I think it's got a really great cast of actors. So, the main character of this film, Gru, is voiced by Steve Carell, and I definitely regard Gru as his best voice, what I've heard from him of all time. Steve Carell is one of my favourite comedians of all time. And Gru is definitely, in my opinion, a great character because even though he's the bad guy in this film, he's a fun, sympathetic character. And I can definitely understand why he's a villain in the first place, because he wants love and appreciation for who he is, because we see in flashback he of course wants to be an astronaut, but he's told he'll never be there, which is a bit sad for him. So I can definitely see why he became a supervillain in the story, really. And speaking about flashback, I did also as well love Dame Julie Andrews in this as Gru's mother. I definitely think she did a brilliant job playing Gru's mother in this, and was definitely, in my opinion, a great casting. Dame Julie Andrews is an absolute legend. And when it comes as well to of course, Gru's army sidekicks being the minions themselves, as you can see here, in this film, in my opinion, they're definitely really funny, and I can definitely say that in this film, they're thankfully far more tolerable than they are in most of the rest of the franchise, in my opinion. Before, in my opinion, they got really overused and pretty annoying. In this film, they're definitely, in my opinion, the most tolerable, because I personally found the minions funny in this film. And they're definitely really funny, who are voiced by a variety of actors, such as for example, Pierre Coffin does the voice of the minions, and also Chris Renault also voices a minion called Dave, and also Jermaine Clement voices a minion called Jerry, as well, which is definitely really cool. So I definitely really love those castings, but definitely, in my opinion, pretty funny in this. And I also, as well, definitely really love this film's main antagonist, if you don't count Gru being a villain, because he's, of course, this film's protagonist. I definitely really loved Vector in this film, who's voiced by Jason Segel. Vector is just, in my opinion, absolutely hilarious and so much fun, in my opinion, to watch. He's a villain that, of course, you know is a bad guy, the enemy of the main character, but he's still, in my opinion, absolutely hilarious at the same time. Like, his scenes in this film made me die of laughter. And he has lots of memorable lines, such as, for example, oh yeah, and also booyah, and you got shrunk, tiny mouthwash, take that, you're done being shrunk. Like, he's just so funny. And I definitely saw a really good story because despite him, of course, being somebody for us to laugh at, and being, of course, really arrogant and humorous at the same time, he is, however, competent in his part of, before his arrogance or his vulnerability leads to his defeat. Because he, of course, is the one who steals the pyramid at the start of the film, and also as well the shrink that Gru wanted to use to give it to his boss, Mr. Perkins. And also as well, he shows how great a villain is because he stops Gru getting the shrink back, and he also kidnaps the 3 girls he's adopted. So he's definitely, in my opinion, a formidable villain, despite, of course, being hilarious. And I think they did it really well. And Jason Segel is just so funny as Vex, in my opinion. And in addition to that, I also, as well, love the casting of Gru's adopted children. So I definitely love Miranda Cosgrove as Margot. She was definitely great as Margot. Probably my favourite role of hers so far that I've seen. I've not seen any other roles of Miranda Cosgrove just yet, but I think she was definitely great as Margot with what she was given. And I also, as well, definitely really, as well, I loved Elsie E. Fisher, and also, as well, Dan and I as Agnes and Edith, as well. They were definitely also great, as well, in my opinion, too. Definitely did a very good job, in my opinion. And I also, as well, definitely really love the casting, as well, of Russell Brand as Dr. Nefario, who is Gru's assistant. Russell Brand's one of my favourite comedians of all time, and I think he was definitely, in my opinion, really funny as Dr. Nefario. And I must say, he did a very convincing job sounding like an old man playing Nefario, in my opinion, because the character's an old man. And I think Russell Brand did a very good job playing Nefario in this. I thought that was definitely a brilliant casting, in my opinion. And I also mentioned Mr. Perkins earlier, who's Gru's boss. I definitely, as well, really love Will Arnett as Mr. Perkins. It's definitely one of my favourite voice roles of Will Arnett of all time. And he's definitely a great voice actor. My favourite role of his is Batman in the Lego movie franchise. And I think he was brilliant to Mr. Perkins, in my opinion. Definitely a boss that you want to be afraid of because of the way he talked to Gru, definitely, in my opinion. And I also, as well, definitely like Kristen Wiig as Miss Hattie, who is, of course, the orphanage's owner. She was definitely good, in my opinion, playing Miss Hattie as the despicable, see what I did there, unlikable character that she is. And I think she did a very good job. I do prefer her as Lucy Ward in this franchise, but I still think she was great as Miss Hattie, what she was given, in my opinion. And she's a very good actress, in my opinion, Kristen Wiig is. And is it just me, or does Miss Hattie remind me a lot of Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter a little bit? You know, like, clothing-wise and hairstyle-wise. She reminds me a lot of Umbridge. I don't know if that was, like, intentional or not, but it's just, just looks so similar, in my opinion. Another great thing about this film for me is also animation. Like, I definitely think for a 2010 film, the animation for this film is absolutely stunning, in my opinion. Like, considering this is Illumination's first film, I think they did a great job with the animation in this film. Like, it was definitely really great to look at, visually stunning, just really great to see. Considering it's their first film, they did a really great job, in my opinion. And it's one of the reasons why it's my favourite film by Illumination. And the film also has really great scenes to watch involving action, such as, for example, the scenes with a shrink ray, for example, and Gru stealing it were definitely really great. And I definitely think it was really great, in my opinion, because despite being a comedy film, there's lots of fun action scenes in this, which are great to see. And he does a great job as well telling a story where the main character is actually a bad guy this time. Like, I think this is one of those animated films I love, alongside Megamind, in which the main character starts off as a bad guy. I definitely really love that. And I think, as well, the characters had great chemistry with each other. For example, Gru and the adopted children, in my opinion, had great chemistry. We can thank the actors for that, especially. Like, because even though, of course, Gru is apprehensive to adopt him at the start, he, of course, forms a bond with him, and he becomes way more likeable over time. And I definitely really love that about Gru in this film. He definitely had, in my opinion, great developments. That's what I'll definitely say. And because of these great scenes, the film, in my opinion, is also very well paced too, because the film has a runtime of 95 minutes, and in my opinion, it's paced really well. It does not feel, too long or too short. In my opinion, it's paced really well because of the really fun scenes and the humour. Like, it's definitely, in my opinion, paced really well. And I definitely think they did a really good job with the story in this film. It was definitely really great, with lots of great moments too, I must say, which are great to see. Like, I think this film definitely did a really brilliant job with it. So I definitely really love this film, and to me, it's the best out of the Despicable Me franchise. I definitely really love it. And so, yeah, I definitely really love Despicable Me. It's my favourite Illumination movie of all time. I love everything about this movie. To me, it's the best out of the franchise. And, of course, I do as well like most of the rest of the franchise. I think Despicable Me 2 is a great sequel. To me, it's so far the best of the sequels. Despicable Me 3, I'm not a fan of at all, really. But I also absolutely hate the spin-off called Minions. I really hate that film. And I think it was that film that started a decline for Illumination. Until, of course, Mario came out in 2023. So, yeah, that definitely really sucks in my opinion. And how they treated the Minions as being, like, annoying characters, that just really sucks in my opinion. Like, that's why I'd say that in this film, they're probably the most tolerable out of the whole franchise, in my opinion. I think in this film, especially, they're definitely most likeable, that's what I'll say. But I did, however, love the spin-off, of course, Minions Rise of Gru. That definitely, in my opinion, was a pretty good installment to the franchise, and definitely, as well, of course, was something we needed after the disappointment being Despicable Me 3, in my opinion, absolutely. And then Illumination finally, of course, became amazing, again, thanks to Mario. That's definitely what I'll say, really. So, I definitely really Despicable Me. To me, it's the best out of the Despicable Me franchise, and my favourite film by Illumination Entertainment of all time. So, it's definitely, in my opinion, great, with a great cast and a great story and great animation. And most also added a great musical score by Airto Pereira, which definitely fits the tone of the film being like an action comedy, in my opinion. It's definitely great to listen to. And I also as well love the themes by Pharrell Williams in this. Pharrell Williams is a great singer, and I loved many of his songs, such as, for example, Fun, 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 and also Prettiest Girls, and My Life by Robin Thicke as well. Like, I definitely think the songs in this were definitely a great addition. And also, as well, I love how in the credits as well, they also featured a classic song as well, which was definitely a great addition, and of course, by the Bee Gees, which of course was You Shall Be Dancing. I just love that song, and I love how they added it in the credits. That was just brilliant, in my opinion, for like how it's Emma movie. Just brilliant. So, long story short, guys, I definitely really love Despicable Me. To me, it's my favourite out of the franchise, and if I was to give a film a score out of 10, because it's my favourite in the franchise, I would definitely give it a full-blown 10 out of 10. I definitely really love this movie. So, this is me costing my review for Despicable Me, the first movie. In the future, I will be posting reviews for what came after it as well, so stay tuned for that. So, this is me doing my review for 2010's Despicable Me, the first movie. So, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to let me know in the comments what you guys think of Despicable Me, in the comments below what you think of the film. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe videos coming in the future, and I'll see you all later.